Welcome back, everybody, to The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD.
I forgot where we were.
Well, let me remind you. We just got finished with Forbidden Woods.
Oh, yes. So, that's a thing that probably won't matter to people who are watching this way in the future and like, I watched this in a playlist. I mean, it happened right after each other. Well, it's been...
Well, look at the upload dates, jackass.
Yeah, seriously. Right there below the video, or to the right of the video, or wherever the hell it is at this point in the future.
So perhaps it is within the video itself when it's 2025 and Google has completely ass-raped the site, instead of only 95% ass-raping the site.
By 2015, you cannot learn any information about the video unless you download it from Google's official YouTube app.
That'd be such bullshit, but it wouldn't surprise me. So, in this part, well, we're going to be doing a bunch of bullshit, if you can't tell.
Ah, yes.
Because this part and a little bit into the next part represent the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this game.
This is one of 3 sections that got cut for time because Nintendo's like, oh, we want to prove that we can get a game out on time and not just, hold to our artistic integrity. So,
Maybe this
people.
was a lesson that Nintendo had to teach us. This is the shit that happens when we stick to a deadline.
That being said, this is still a very good game.
It just has some shortcomings.
Yeah, but very few games don't. Generally, the games that feel very polished are ones where they spent more time polishing it than they did on the meat of the game. And when you're dealing with a deadline, you really do have to, kind of have to prioritize actually getting the game structured, in terms of gameplay and story, and as opposed to, polishing it, making it everything finalized. A good example of this would be, I think Red Dead Redemption was not made on a strict timeline.
I would not be an expert on this.
Let me look it up.
Look it up while we're here on Greatfish Isle. And it's all, like, cursed and shit. Well, this dude comes back and is like, yo, I got some important stuff to tell you. Do you want to pay attention? No, I already know what I'm doing. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
So this island was definitely going to be the location for the third temple, a la earlier Zelda titles. Well, not temple, dungeon, what have you, terminology. But, obviously it was cut, so they did this kind of destroyed island. Red Dead Redemption began in 2005, and what was it, released 2010?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a 5-year development time, getting pushed back several times. It was a PS2, Xbox release.
And then it became next gen.
Well,
what was next gen at that time? Fucking gen terminology is bullshit.
People will be calling this gen next gen for like 2 years, like they did.
This
last
gen, next gen, last gen, fuck gen.
I stopped caring how to call the current gen.
I stopped caring. Period. End of sentence. Let's move on.
I never cared in the first place.
So now, on our quest to find Japoon, our next stop will be in Windfall Isle.
Man, you have no idea like how excited I was as a kid when my stupid 13-year-old brain's like, oh, Jaboon, he must be related to Jabu Jabu.
And you're kind of right.
Because you have Valu, who's related to Volvagia, the Great Deku Tree, which is related to the Great Deku Tree, and Jaboon, which is related to Jabu Jabu.
Note that I have put the Cursed Sea over this, because that's the theme tune that plays during this part of the game.
God, this game has some of the best music of the franchise. It's all very atmospheric, and like even this theme is rather adventurous, even if it's more dangerous than.
It's more ominous than the normal Great Sea counterpart.
Oh hey, it's these guys.
Now, I have been seeing parts of speed runs for this game.
This particular version?
Yes, this particular version.
I would assume it would have some differences from...
There are several differences, but oddly enough, both versions run at about the same amount of time, right around that 4.5 hour mark.
Huh.
It's because changes in this version that would slow down the game are offset by changes in this version that speed up the game.
Yeah. Who does the speedruns now? Is it Sublemic? No, he was...
No, that's Super Mario 64. You're thinking of Cosmo.
Yeah. I don't know why I get those two confused. They're totally not the same guy. This is one of the best scenes in the game.
Although technically there is actually a way to skip this and clip through what we're going to not clip through in this playthrough, because I am not a speedrunner of any Zelda game.
Glitchless run. I love how they're just like, we're just gonna tie him up. No big deal. We're pirates.
We didn't come in here when we first were in Windfall Isle, but this guy would sell bombs for like 10,000 rupees, which you have no possibility of carrying in this game.
Oh. Wallet limits. I'm kind of glad they didn't really have that concept in any of the 2D Zelda games that I've played.
Except for 999.
Yeah, and the logical cap, to avoid data overflow, but...
And in the original Legend of Zelda, it was 255.
Because, again, data overflow if you went past that. That's the 256 is the kill screen on pretty much any 8-bit game.
Mm-hmm. Also, most famously, is a kill screen in Pac-Man. Because what's his face? Billy Mitchell.
Yeah, Billy Mitchell.
Gotta Billy Mitchell it up.
I think I told my parents one time that my hero was Billy Mitchell.
Fucking really?
And then after I had to explain who he was.
Wait, what the?
And my dad's like...
Shit?
My dad's like... son, there are a lot worse heroes out there. The reason why 256 is a kill screen is because that's the literally the highest 255 is literally the highest an 8-bit engine can count to.
256 is in fact 2 to the 8th power.
Yes.
And then you have 0 to 255. You have 256 different numbers that an 8-bit thing can be.
Because you got to realize an 8-bit means there's literally...
You have 8 possible zeros or ones.
Yes. And so the highest number it can go is literally the number of bits to the power... Or 2 to the power of the number of bits.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. Because computing always starts at 0.
Yes.
And so computers aren't smart enough to think ahead of time. Oh, I'm reaching a number higher than 255. I should stop. What happens is when it ticks over, it just adds another bit, and it goes, 7 zeros and a 1, 6 zeros, a 1, and then a 0, and in that logical progression. And then when you get 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, was that 8 ones? I don't care. It wants to flip it over. Well, the next step is to make everything 0 and put a 1 in front of that. But there's no space for that 9th 1.
So you get an overflow. You get an overflow error.
And computers.
I'm not getting too technical for you, am I?
Nah. We lost half of the 6 viewers.
One of the weirdest examples of this is in Star Fox 64.
Really?
Yes.
Go on.
The high score table in Star Fox 64. You know how on the table you have all the scores for the individual levels?
Yes.
If it is 512 or say in Area 6, where if you're really good at Star Fox 64 and all the tricks and that, you can easily get a score above 511, which is strangely 2 to the 9th power minus 1. I figure because the metal score for one of the levels is 300. It's like, just put another power of 2 there. It'll be fine. But if you get a score above 511, strangely, when you see it on the high score table, it will subtract 256 until it gets to below 512. And it does some really weird things with the score table, because the way it presents scores assumes that the engine or whatever hasn't done this.
Really
so
quick,
so you get weird things happening. Like if you've seen, there was a demonstration of this at the recent Awesome Games Done Quick, where the guy did do a score run.
Yeah.
And showed off his high score table, and some really funky things happened.
Real quick, I just want to say that mechanic that we just went through for that puzzle was horribly underutilized in this game.
Yep.
Like, just the Lost Woods alone could have used that. But,
Well,
anyway, back to...
the game glazed over it, so we glazed over it.
Kind of. I really loved it, too. It was super fun. But...
Whatevs. So yeah, that's a really odd thing with computing.
Yeah. Generally, that's how a lot of, early gen Pokemon speedrun... A lot of speedruns utilize the number overflow, just because it can help you move data around to where you really need it. And actually, an interesting thing, someone figured out a way to use that in order to basically reprogram Pokemon Yellow into anything. If you know what information is where and how to move it around, it's basically a Game Boy developer's kit. So obviously you have to be able to access the raw data, and there's a glitch to do that, of course. And I'm not talking about using an external program. No, this is entirely using the PC in game.
So we just got bombs. Going back to the game. We just got bombs, and it's a race. It's a race back to Outset Island before dawn.
What? Yep. Oh, also, fun fact, that map in there, that Triforce, is the same one that appears on your map.
And it's relevant. Surprise, surprise!
Yeah, Triforce relevant in a Zelda game? Never. That never
thought.
happens. It's not like it's been relevant in almost every Zelda game. I'm trying to think of one where it has been. I mean, like, even this
The Game Boy
Philips...
titles? Namely,
Yeah,
Link's
well,
Awakening.
Link's Awakening, maybe. Because I have all three of them on 3DS. And if I remember correctly, at the very least in Ages and Seasons, it kicks off the plot.
It does kick off the plot. But when I was saying Game Boy titles, I was mainly thinking of Link's Awakening.
Yeah, Link's Awakening. Oh, I haven't gotten through that yet. I think I'm stuck, like, right after the Animal Village. I have no idea where to go. But anyway...
So as soon as you get bombs, you'll find a letter in the post where it's like, "We sell bombs now," says Beetle. And you get Beetle's chart.
Well, the Beetle's chart is interesting, because you get the, all the locations where he is. And then there's the one location where he's wearing a helmet. And I'm convinced it's actually Beetle and not...
And not some... It's not fucking Star Wars The Clone Wars or some shit.
Well, because I think he calls himself by a different name when he has the helmet on. I'm trying to remember what the significant... I think the helmeted one sells a heart piece?
The helmeted one does sell special items.
Yeah. Oh,
that
right.
are that are expensive as fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
We will be interacting with that a little later.
So, one thing about this that I didn't realize as a kid that I, learned about in my second and third playthrough, night never actually ends.
It does not.
To outset.
In fact, the King of Red Lions here, when we get to Outset Island in a minute, we'll actually call that out.
Yeah. Also, these, what do they end up calling these shark things?
I just call them annoying shark pieces of shit.
These Sharpedos. They look like fucking Sharpedo!
So what, if I attack with a physical attack, I take damage?
Yeah, pretty much.
Shit.
They got that rough skin ability.
Mm-hmm.
better use my, electric fighting type.
Or whatever.
I'm trying to think. Or my grass bug type.
By the way,
Waddle.
how painful would this be if I did not speed this up to 4 times speed?
Oh, we'd have to talk more about computers.
Everyone's favorite fucking topic, apparently.
Dude, whatever. I love talking about computers. You kidding me? So one thing they clearly try to do with all the islands is make them have a distinct silhouette as you approach them, as they are loaded in. And I feel it works very well. You can pretty much tell which island is which solely from the 2-dimensional silhouette that pops up when you do the things and you approach on your, boat line.
I'm going back home.
Oh man. Okay, so this one, when I first played this game, and I was unable to figure out how to do this particular side quest. And then, I stopped playing, and then picked it up a year later. And it's like, oh, well, I'm an idiot. Which clearly became a theme throughout my life.
Yes. Clearly.
But, there's also another interesting thing in that it shows that the fairies are willing to, heal people that aren't just Link. It kind of brings some of the game elements into the world.
By the way, there is a very specific reason we are doing this.
Oh yes, the best reason.
The elixir soup, or grandma's soup.
Is it white in this?
It's kind of yellowish white.
It looks white on my screen. In the
Probably
original,
because the lighting is god awful.
Yeah.
But, you know.
In the on my screen or in the game?
Probably both.
Yes. But in the original, it's like a dark yellow.
I think in this it's lighter yellow.
Yeah.
But it
I wonder why.
it does function the same here, so.
It's about the same color as Link's hair, I would say.
Yeah. But Grandma's Soup is a complete refill of health and magic, and you get 2 servings.
Also an attack bonus until you get hit.
Correct. I had completely forgotten about that because that rarely becomes relevant.
No, because usually you get hit like 2 minutes into the fight. Not even like 10 seconds.
Really,
2
it's
minutes.
just something for emergency situations.
Yeah. Oh right, this thing. Oh, oh. Right. Oh, that's kind of neat how it kind of tracks. That was not in the original.
It was not.
No.
Though how you can do this with the boat, but not have some sort of aiming reticule when you're on foot with these bombs, I have no understanding of.
Back in my day, we had to eyeball it, and we liked it that way.
Because it was bullshit.
I had to throw bombs uphill both ways barefoot in the middle of driving snow. And we appreciated it.
Whatever, old man.
Whatever, old man game commentator.
Old man game commentator.
I don't know. This is a concept that's going on for about 7, 8 years now.
Well, it is a concept that will continue next time when we actually see Jaboon.